Okay, cool. Clapping for all of these. Hey everyone, it's me, Hallease, back with another video. Today I have Aaron. We're gonna talk to him about what he does for a living and what he's trying to be.
So I'm a software developer for a company called InMotion Software. I do a lot of front-end development, and in my spare time I do some Android and iOS development as well. There's a lot of different paths you can take as a software developer, but me, I concentrate on the front end, so that's what the end user sees, you know, the colors, the buttons, the functionality that anyone actually using an application will know about. So I don't really focus so much on like the back end, which is, you know, saving the data, retrieving the data. I focus more on what the user is actually seeing when they're in the application or in an app on their mobile device.
Okay. Like, to get into that, what did you major in?
So I majored in computer science at University of Texas.
With computer science, that sounds like a very broad term, but so like what does it cover?
It is very broad. So I took a lot of math courses, a lot of logic courses, definitely a lot of programming courses, a little bit of hardware, just everything that has to do with computers, how they're made, how they work, how to program them, how to make code, how to make things do what you want them to do through code.
When you're in college and you're taking all these different courses and stuff, is there, I know for me as a film editor or whatever, they teach us the industry standard as far as like what applications we should be using. So at the time it was like Final Cut Pro, and then it shifted to Avid. Now Premiere is what a lot of editors use. Is there like a suite of applications, products that you use when you're doing this kind of work?
It really varies on where you end up working and what you end up doing. The education kind of gives you the foundation, but actually being out in the workforce will give you the tools that you need. So it varies on the company you're at and the task that you're doing.
Okay. So by day, what do you do by day?
Most of my day is actually spent coding. I'm in the position now where I don't have to be in too many meetings, so I actually enjoy that. So we have tickets, so there could be bugs or new features that need to be introduced into the application. So I just grab one of those and I just code. I open up my IDE, which is an integrated development environment, and I just start writing the code. We have a QA system, so after I've completed my task, other developers will check the code and make sure it makes sense. And then it gets passed on to testing, where they will actually test the functionality the same way an end user would use it. And if it passes along, it goes to our product owner. Once he or she approves of it, then it'll go out to production. Cool.
So you're really on the back end of just like the process. You're like the behind the scenes of what makes applications work.
Mm-hmm.
How interesting. How long have you been doing that?
It's been about 5 years now. I've been doing it professionally, and maybe 7 years that I've been doing it just in my spare time as well.
That's what you're trying to do by day, you know? That's what pays the bills, if you will, right? Your 9 to 5 just to stay alive and such.
Right.
What are you passionate about?
I'm still passionate about the same thing, but the place I'm working at allows me to do side projects as long as I don't compete with what they're doing at work. Mm-hmm. So I'd like to make an application that, you know, blows up someday, makes a lot of money, because there's a lot of people I'm trying to help and a lot of things that I'm trying to do. And unfortunately, the way things are set up, you need a lot of money to do certain things.
Right. It's kind of like, yeah, that is kind of the crutch for me as well with like growing a channel or doing whatever you're trying to do. It's like, well, unfortunately people just look at metrics, and the quality can kind of like go either way depending on what you're doing, as long as the metrics are there.
Yeah.
So with keeping that in mind, your passion is still within the same wheelhouse. Mm-hmm. Who are you trying to help?
First, I'm trying to help my immediate family, and I'm also trying to help family in Nigeria. My parents are from Nigeria. I was born in Dallas, but I'd say about half my family's still over there, and it's just not easy for them. So I try to do, you know, little I can, sending money here or there, calling to check on people. I actually go to Nigeria every 2 years or so, but you know, I want to have more fun so I can do more things. I'm doing what I can, you know, right now, but if I had more, I could do more.
Yeah. With your passion stuff, with your side stuff, what do you have going on right now?
Right now, I made an app called GeoPulse several years ago when my, at the time, girlfriend, currently wife, she was living in Irving and I was still here in Austin. And when I drive back late at night on Fridays, she would used to call to check on me, or my parents would call, and it's dark and it's kind of dangerous to be on the phone, while driving. So I made an app that I can just select them as contacts. I can put a custom message and set an interval like 15, 30 minutes. It would send them a text and they'd get a link to my location. As soon as they clicked that, it would open in their map application. So that was something cool that I just built in my spare time. And I'm currently working on my first game. It's called Orbital Elevator. It's just a simple idea I had with my college roommate. It's almost done. The Android version is done, but I'm working on the iOS version as we speak. So that should be done in the next week or two.
Awesome. And then wasn't there a third game that you already actually have out?
There is a third game out called Mimic the Game. It's kind of like Simon Says, but there's like a little bit of a twist to make it more challenging. That was actually my friend and former coworker's app that he had on iOS, but he didn't have an Android version, so he came to me for help, and I just built that out for him in a couple of days. So that's up now as well.
So something I'm really curious about with apps is like, how do apps make money?
Apps make money several ways, just depending on how the developer chooses to monetize them. Some apps are completely free, so they won't make any money. Some apps have advertisements, like you'll see like a banner ad or a pop-up ad. That's really common in games. So maybe you beat 5 levels or you lose, you'll get a pop-up ad, and the developer will get money for the ad showing up. They'll get more money if the ad's actually clicked. And then several apps, either you have to buy them for 99 cents or whatever price is set, or they have in-app purchases. A lot of games do that as well, where you can buy power-ups or buy weapons or something like that.
Okay. Is it like, for you, is it like do you think it's like a lucrative thing? Like, is it a good side hustle to get into building games? Or do you think it's more for the love of just making it,
It's a little bit of both for me personally. I really enjoy creating these things. It's kind of like my form of artwork, I guess. But it can be really lucrative, but at this point, the market's so saturated. There's so many apps, so many developers, and so many big companies. It's hard for like smaller indie developers to really put their idea out there. Because, I don't watch much TV, but I'll be scrolling through TV every now and then, and I'll see like an ad for like Clash of Clans. Like, we're to the point that some companies have money that they're putting ads up during the Super Bowl for their apps.
Yeah.
So those are the people that the little guy's competing with.
Right.
So that's what makes it harder.
What would be, so like you've talked about how you want to help your family in Nigeria and you want to use kind of like your tech skill to do that where you can. What would be like the ideal situation for you to like achieve that,
Right now, I'm kind of in the best place I can be as far as still having a full-time job, because since I'm allowed to do side projects, it's a little difficult because, you spend all this time at work, and then to build any of this, I have to do that after work on the weekends, and it can be really tiring. But this is the current ideal situation until I can have funds to be self-sufficient, self-employed.
Who are the type of people, like, because you're an app developer and you have this skill set, who are the type of people that you're trying to connect with?
Try to connect to people who are a little bit more business savvy than I am. Maybe people who have more of a marketing reach as well. Even people, like you, that might have a following that can help me get my ideas out there. Yeah. So I'm still learning, I'm still young in this, so just trying to connect to people with a little bit more experience or maybe a little bit more reach than I have.
Yeah. I mean, for you, the joy is just like doing it, right?
Yeah.
And that's very much a very like artist mentality, I find, where it's like, I just want to make the thing I want to make. You're trying to look for someone who's more business savvy, like for a potential business partner, or someone who has like the idea for an app. I guess like for you, do you ever have the ideas for apps straight out of the blue, or are you usually trying to bring someone else's vision to life?
It's a combination of both. Like the app I talked about earlier, GeoPulse, was an idea I had. As far as the game, that was with my college roommate. So just basically anything that sounds interesting that I can create, whether it come from me or someone else, I will try to build it.
Yeah. And it's really, like, because I know I had like a rough idea for an app once upon a time. And you were so excited about like just the potential of just trying to just problem solve and figure it out. What's the most exciting part about the process of putting an app together for you?
Besides the actual building of it, is the initial planning, like just thinking about maybe I get really optimistic when an idea comes out, but like with your idea, it just seems like this is a way we could help a lot of people with something that's inconveniencing them in life. So those things get me excited, knowing that I might be able to do something to have a positive impact on people's lives.
Awesome. For the next, what is your goal? So, this is like the question I always like to ask people. So we know like what you do to 9 to 5 stay alive. We know what your passion is. What is your goal? Or like, where do you see yourself ideally in the next year and then in 5 years?
In the next year, I hope to have, I have a book that has several apps. I want to get through the first 4 or 5 of them by the next year.
Like ideas that you just have on paper and you just need to build them.
Right. So I want to get through those in the next year, whether they're successful or not. I just want I want to do them, to know that I've went through the process and completed them. 5 years, I hope that I have something that's successful enough that I can do more. Like I can go to Nigeria, I can help, fix the roads or something like that. I can help bring cleaner water to the village. I don't have all the solutions, and I know I can't, fix everything by myself, but in 5 years, I hope to be in a better place to do more for people.
I wonder if it'd be more for you, if it'd be more about like finding the middle ground of using your application knowledge and just like building things that maybe help with like, I don't know, more of the political struggles of things. It's an app based in San Antonio, and it just tells me like what major elections are going on and like what each candidate's main points are, what their other main points are, like, and all of that, and it's just all aggregated into one place. So instead of having to go out and do your civil duty to go and find that information, it's just presented to you in a compact way, so then you can take it upon yourself to expand on it if you want to. And I wonder if like helping to build things like that for Nigeria would be interesting.
Yeah, that could be helpful as well. It takes me talking to people who are there, sitting down, identifying the root of a lot of these issues and trying to think, how can I use technology to help those directly?
Yeah.
Because maybe raising a bunch of money is not the best solution or not the only solution. So I guess it would have to be just talking to people there, seeing what their immediate needs are. And maybe there's an app for that. I mean, that's what people do here. So.
Would you ever move back to Nigeria?
I don't
with
know.
Gloria?
Yeah, I don't know yet. I'm originally from Richardson, Texas. And I moved to Austin, but I'm not that far from my parents. I can still drive back. So it'd be a big step just to move states, let alone to another country on another continent. Even if half my family's there, half my family's still here. So.
Yeah. Well, okay. So usually, what I like to ask to wrap up an interview is, how can we support you? Like, how can we help you?
Yeah, just people checking out my apps and ideas and just giving me feedback. Any constructive criticism or any praise is helpful.
Yeah. Well, Aaron, thank you so much for chatting with us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, appreciate it. I will link to all of Aaron's apps that he talks about in the description box, so that way you can download them and check them out. And if you are interested in connecting with Aaron, I will see if he has like a contact page or something like that, in case he's not like okay with like giving out his email. I'll see you when I see you.